Welcome, students. Okay, I want you to sit over there, and you to sit over there. All right.
Why are you dividing us?
It's not us, it's your own ability dividing you. You see, some students are just naturally more capable and have more grit, whereas those of you who live in poverty are just less capable and don't try as hard. You give up too easily, you don't take advantage of opportunities, and you don't care enough about education.
Gorski would argue that the deficit ideology blames people of poverty for their lack of success, as opposed to seeing them as victims of structural barriers and inequalities that hinder them from economic and academic opportunities. Furthermore, the grit mentality fails to see that of all the combinations of barriers that most impact the educational outcomes of students experiencing poverty, which might include housing instability, food insecurity, inequitable access to high-quality schools, unjust school policies, and others, not a single one is related in any way to students' grittiness.
Some of the students' behavior do not fit into the normal profile of our school's high-achieving students, and their differences might interfere with our well-spoken and polite students. Perhaps we should separate them so they can get the special attention to be fixed.
Lamont and Leroux would rebuttal this by stating that white culture prevails in the system as the model of academic conduct because white people hold the cultural capital, giving them power to reproduce their culture and inadvertently create inequity in schools through biasing student characteristics that support their cultural values, unconsciously associating these traits as good while inadvertently marginalizing other cultural traits.
In my own children's school, they are placed in the advanced section. I make sure of that, and they take advantage of opportunities, unlike many students here who don't try hard enough.
According to Dr. Deborah Palmer, this is the critical race theory coming into play. The critical race theory states that white educators give power to people of color only if it primarily benefits the educator. The teacher is giving an advantage to the Asian Americans because using them as representation of the class is beneficial to her overall image as an educator. Rather than putting the interests of the students first, she wants to reproduce her power in the classroom as a good educator. There is a perception that Asian Americans have their strengths in math and other subjects because of their culture, but this is entirely untrue.
I've placed some of you in the advanced group because you all seem to excel at English and math. You two will be the face of the class, and I'm so proud of you for representing how well this class can do.
According to Klugman, there is effectively maintained inequalities, which argues that socioeconomically advantaged actors secure for themselves and their children some degree of advantage, whether advantages are commonly possible. The teacher here is telling us that she has the power over officials in her children's school and is capable of making a change unlike us.
Well, according to Delpit, the issue is really an illusion created initially not by teachers, but by academics whose worldview demands the creation of categorical divisions, not for the purpose of better teaching, but for the goal of easier analysis.